Thank you for joining me here this afternoon. The time is now 5:05 p.m. Central, and you have a live look at an ongoing tornado warning storm right along the Illinois-Missouri state line. This is a tornado warning now in effect for portions of southwestern Jackson County in southern Illinois and east central Perry County in southeastern Missouri. So if you're included in this tornado warning, we need you to seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building and away from windows in an interior room. We have some very strong rotation starting to develop near Loinback Landing in Missouri. It's about to cross over the Mississippi River. So again, if you're in this area, we need you to get to your safe spot. This storm could have a tornado on the ground at any second. In fact, it could have one now. This has been a growing supercell over the past little while here, and if we look just several scans ago, we can see it was barely even a severe thunderstorm. So this storm is growing rapidly, and the reason for that is because we have an incredible amount of CAPE out here in this environment, right? If we go ahead and take a look here at the surface-based CAPE in this region, let's go ahead and turn that on. We can see that we do have a significant amount, around 4,000 joules per kilogram. We also do have quite a bit of wind shear in the first 6 kilometers of the atmosphere here. We are talking about 35 to 40 knots in spots down here. So these storms are going to fire off, and they're going to continue to fire off into the evening and nighttime hours here. Again, first tornado warning of the day now, right along the Missouri-Illinois state line, all right? So this is a tornado warning going out for Grand Tower and Gorham. Again, we need you to seek shelter immediately if you are in this area, all right? This is a tornado warning for that region. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for portions of northern Missouri and southern Iowa, and we do have a storm in in the southwest portion of this severe thunderstorm watch up here in northwestern Missouri trying to get going. This is a severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for northeastern Buchanan, northwestern Clinton, southeastern Andrew, and western DeKalb counties in northwestern Missouri there. So that's just off to the northeast of St. Joseph. So look out for that one. If you're in that area, make sure you're getting indoors. This storm down here in southern Illinois does have a history of producing wind damage as well. We had reports of trees down near Rockwood. So again, a very powerful storm now sweeping into extreme southwestern portions of Illinois. And this storm is going to pretty much track across the entirety of southern Illinois without really any problems here. So down the line, areas in southern Illinois do need to be looking out for this thing, right? It's moving off to the east-southeast, areas like Pomona, Vienna, Creel Springs, Goreville, the intersection of Interstate 24 and Interstate 57. This area here is where we're really watching for that greatest tornado potential here over the next couple of hours. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up Stream Chat. If anybody has any questions about their location, feel free to leave those down below. I'll try to answer them accurately and honestly, but again, this is quite a nasty supercell that we do have going here, and it's going to continue to grow most likely over the next several minutes. So we'll see if this is going to produce a tornado, if it's not already. We could even have like a water spout if it does cross the Mississippi River here, so we'll watch out for that. What's up, Gooseman? What's up, Random Texan Guy? Good to see the usual crowd here back once again. But, again, mainly watching southern Illinois right now and southeastern Missouri. So, again, if we do have any viewers from Illinois just now tuning in, tornado warning now going out for Grand Tower, Howardton, and Gorham in southwestern Illinois. This storm is going to be crossing Highway 3 soon. This storm is going to be capable of producing a tornado at any second if it is not already. So, again, we need you to move to a safe spot immediately, preferably underground. If you can't get underground, get into the most interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Because, again, this is the kind of storm that absolutely could produce a tornado, so we gotta watch it here. The radar coverage out here is pretty great, I'll be honest with you guys, so we shouldn't have any trouble seeing this storm on the radar. But yeah, again, we're going to be watching here mainly portions of Jackson County now, the Pomona area, mainly southern Jackson County is under the gun here for this supercell, again, that could produce a tornado here in the next couple of minutes. So we'll continue to watch that storm as it continues. They are talking about issuing a severe thunderstorm watch in this area as well. They've given it a 60% probability of a severe thunderstorm watch for portions of southern and southeastern Missouri and southwestern Illinois as well between now and 6:30 p.m. So that's about an hour and 20 minutes from now. So if we were to see that severe thunderstorm watch get issued, it would be pretty soon, and it would be for any storms that do develop in south central Missouri and push eastward. So Slight risk of severe weather today, going out for a good chunk of the Midwest back into portions of the Red River Valley here. This is mainly driven by a damaging wind and large hail threat, but as you can see with this storm here, an isolated tornado cannot completely be ruled out. We also have an ongoing severe weather outbreak across parts of New England, which was quite unexpected, and a severe weather event trying to get going in the northwest here in portions of Wyoming, Idaho, and especially southwestern Montana. So we'll continue to watch that as well. But again, mainly watching southwestern Illinois at this point as this supercell continues. We should get a new radar scan any minute here, so we'll try to look at that as soon as that comes out. This storm is also warned for golf ball sized hail, so again, this could cause some damage to some windows or some windshields on cars or things like that. So, new severe thunderstorm warning now just issued. That's going out for portions of Canadian County in Oklahoma. So that's off to the west of Oklahoma City, along Interstate 40, approaching El Reno. So if you're in that area, make sure that you are getting indoors immediately. Looks like a pretty healthy storm. Not quite as healthy and mature as this one, though. Again, this looks like a classic supercell, especially a couple of scans ago it did. I mean, it had a hook echo trying to develop and everything, and again, it still kind of does there. So we're mainly concerned right now about areas like Grand Tower and Howardton. So there's your rotation as of the newest scan where the reds meet the greens. So Wittenberg, Grand Tower, Howardton. Again, we're going to ask you guys to get to your safe spot immediately. And then, again, Pomona, however you pronounce that, I'd just be waiting. Again, prepare to take shelter if necessary. If you have any tasks that you absolutely need to get done, get those done now. This is a problematic time frame to have a tornado warning because obviously, you know, we've got people coming home from work. We got people driving to supper, all right? This is kind of rush hour out here in this region. Now, this isn't the most populated area in the world, but we do have Highway 3 that goes through here. Highway 3 is one of the only highways out here in southwestern Illinois, so there's going to be a lot of people traveling on it, and this storm is going to move right over it. So if you know anybody that may be traveling in this area, make sure to let them know that they need to get off and get to a safe spot immediately. Luckily, tornado sirens should be activating in these communities here, but in this rural area where there's no sirens around most likely, it's going to be kind of hard to get the alert because, you know, cell service isn't great out here either, so their phones may not have gone off. It's going to be problematic, to say the least. But yeah, again, tornado warning now for portions of Jackson County and Perry County in southern Illinois and southeastern Missouri. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado now near Grand Tower, Illinois, just across the Mississippi River. Seek shelter immediately if you are included in this tornado warning. We're expecting to see more and more of these storms as we go later into tonight. This is the first of many. Again, a slight risk of severe weather in effect for a good chunk of the Midwest and the southern plains. So we're going to be watching severe storms from portions of Oklahoma all the way back into portions of, you know, Wisconsin. It is a big risk area today, and it's a populated risk area as well. We've got over 50 million people, almost 55 million people facing at least a marginal risk of severe weather today. So, again, got to watch out. Again, the greater threat being in that slight risk of severe weather there, the yellow shade across portions of the Midwest and Oklahoma, as well as extreme northwestern Arkansas. So, got to give my voice a rest here. Been talking for a while. Okay, so they did just condense that tornado warning, now only in effect for portions of south central Jackson County. So everybody in Missouri is fine at this point, but we are concerned about areas like Grand Tower, Howardton, this whole region here. You have to work till 10, so you won't be able to see me. That's alright. Thank you for joining us while you could. Again, if you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe. We're going to be live here for a significant chunk of the evening, I think. Again, supercells like this cannot be ruled out all across portions of the Midwest today. And it's going to persist into the nighttime hours. Now, this isn't going to be a night where I can stay up until, 11, midnight, 1 a.m. because it's not a Friday, all right? I got school in the morning, but if this were, 24 hours later, we wouldn't have any problems. However, because it is a Thursday and not a Friday, and I have officially started school, it's going to be a little bit of a problem there for that. Alright, see you, Sam.
Who's Sam?
I'm on live stream. You gotta be quiet. And you really should get out of here, because I have my video on, too.
It's just...
Go. Sorry about that, everybody. That's the problem now that I have my, my camera on during live streams. It does become a little bit of an issue, but it's alright. Severe thunderstorm warning now for Pinckneyville, Illinois. We've got ourselves Central Perry County under a severe thunderstorm warning, so if you're in that area, make sure that you are getting indoors immediately. But yeah, right now the hotspot really being southwestern Illinois. We have 3 big supercells here trying to produce severe thunderstorm threats, including damaging winds, large hail, and maybe even a brief tornado, especially with the storm near Grand Tower. Once again, we should get a new radar scan literally any second here, but this storm is likely now, our big storm is likely off to the east of Grand Tower, and going to be approaching, again, the Pomona area here within the next several minutes. This should miss Carbondale for the most part, although Carbondale definitely could see some heavy rain, some lightning. Could be an intense storm for sure, but probably not quite as bad as areas to the south of you. Okay, so let's see here if the velocities have updated yet. They have not. A rotation should be right to the north of Howardton at this point. So, again, areas east-southeast of Howardton, now is the time. Alright, you need to get to your safe spot. If you're in Pomona, you got a few minutes. Prepare now. Bring your car inside. Bring your pets inside. As this is going to be, again, a dangerous storm, at least until it makes it towards the Pomona area, and again, potentially even longer, as we do have an absolutely ridiculous environment out here for this storm to take advantage of. Again, we have got an insane amount of shear, first of all. The shear is getting quite crazy. It seems to be breaking the scale here in portions of southwestern Illinois, but also quite a significant amount of CAPE. If we take a look at the surface-based CAPE here, we can see that we've got 4,000 joules per kilogram of CAPE in this spot, which is absolutely enough to keep this storm going. Now, it does become a little bit less as we go into more south-central portions of Illinois, but still, we're talking, 2,500 joules per kilogram plus, and that's going to be moving eastward, right? So, really, this storm is going to be in the peak environment here that it possibly could be for the next couple of hours as it continues off to the east-southeast. If we take a look at the NAM, we can actually see that it is going very aggressive with our CAPE. Earlier, it did have like 5,000 to 6,000 joules per kilogram in portions of Arkansas. Now, if it would like to load, a lot of that would be centered in southern Illinois, but a little bit less so. We definitely are not going to have 5,000 joules per kilogram at this point in southern Illinois, but if we take a look here, we can see that right now, again, the NAM is saying that we're sitting at around 4,000 joules per kilogram as well, 3,500. So it's a pretty spicy environment out here. However, it's not going to be that way for forever. So if this storm were to produce a tornado here, it would be soon. So again, if you're in Grand Tower, Howardton, we need you to get to your tornado safe spot. What's up, Mr. Storm? But yeah, some of our storms here to the north look to be trying to develop some sort of rotation. Nothing significant yet, though. Mainly just a damaging wind and large hail threat. We do have storm chasers Brandon Kopic and Corey Gherkin out there right now in northwestern Missouri. They're chasing the northern mode of storms here because we are going to kind of have 2 different modes of storms, it looks like. We're going to have a southern Missouri and southern Illinois threat, and then we're also going to have a northern Missouri and kind of northern and central Illinois threat right there. Hey, seeing what's up with the weather? Yeah, so, again, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for portions of southern Iowa and northern Missouri, and a tornado warning in effect in southern Illinois there, Alan, and a slight risk of severe weather going out for most of the Midwest, mainly driven by a damaging wind and large hail threat. However, as you can see with that tornado warning, a brief tornado or two cannot be ruled out, mainly across portions of Illinois, but also Wisconsin, Iowa, and Missouri. That 2% risk extends into that area there. And it looks like it even clips the Missouri-Kansas state line here a little bit, but that threat should be to the east of there at this point, as this is kind of the one supercell out in that area, and it's past that region. So, again, we have got ourselves a very storm fueling environment out here today, especially across portions of kind of the Mississippi Valley, the mid-Mississippi Valley, like Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, this region here. If they were to issue an enhanced risk of severe weather today, in my opinion, it would be in this area for a threat of storms later tonight. If we go ahead and take a look at the HRRR here, it does get kind of wild. I'm just going to warn you guys of that right now. If we take a look at the composite reflectivity, we can see that, look at this. They have these supercells here in southwest Illinois continuing for quite a while, like I said, and also we can definitely see by 7 p.m. some other cells getting going in southern Iowa, northern Missouri. A couple of cells maybe in southwestern Missouri as well. Again, they are talking about issuing a severe thunderstorm watch down there. By 8 and 9 p.m., that threat absolutely explodes, all right? Look at all these supercells we got. And again, in this kind of environment, we cannot rule out a brief tornado with some of them. Now, by 10 and 11 p.m., those look to be quite intense still. At this point, it should just mostly be a damaging wind threat, but we are going to have a big cluster of storms roll through most of Illinois and southeastern Missouri through the nighttime hours here. I mean, as we get to 6 a.m., 7 a.m. even, I guess we can't see that far out, but 6 a.m., we are still dealing with a big-time damaging wind and large hail threat here across portions of the Midwest and the Ohio Valley, so that's something to look out for. What's up, Matt Prunty? How does Ernesto look? Yeah, so Ernesto is actually very scary right now. If we take a look at the satellite, it really looks like a major hurricane in my opinion, and Mr. Storm kind of agreed with me. Look at that. Eyewall, it's a beautiful storm, it really is, which is not a good sign. It's muggy there. Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm in kind of central Illinois, and it was extremely muggy. We got some spots getting dew points closer to the 80s, which is absolutely insane. But yeah. So we should get a new radar scan here any second on our storm. There we go. The reflectivity already updated, I guess. But at this point, the rotation should be located right in here in the southeastern portion of this warning polygon. So at this point, Howardton and Grand Tower, you're likely fine. We're mainly concerned about areas towards the east of you. And we did actually just get a new severe thunderstorm warning issued. First, let's take a look at that rotation. Yeah, still going there. But at this point, Howardton and Grand Tower are fine. But that new severe thunderstorm warning now going out for portions of Louisiana, actually. For the Baton Rouge area. So if you're in Baton Rouge, make sure you are getting indoors immediately. Big time damaging wind threat, it looks like, as a cluster of storms kind of moves. This is a really weird look. Wow. That is a confusing radar imagery. Yeah, see, these storms are moving southwest at 15 miles per hour. We have what looks to be a gust front about to meet what is likely an outflow boundary. You don't see that very often. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely interesting. So areas to the southeast of Baton Rouge, south-southeast of Baton Rouge, look out for that, obviously. At this point, that outflow boundary likely met the gust front. Yep. Man, that is weird. Gosh, that's weird. You do not see two... they're not the same thing. One's an outflow boundary and one is likely a gust front, but you don't see two things that look the same on radar meet like that all so often. Dew point is 71 in Waterloo, Iowa. Yeah, again, it's back into the 80s in portions of southeastern Iowa, I believe, which is quite crazy. Severe thunderstorm warning just issued for southwestern Claiborne County and north central Jefferson counties in southwestern Mississippi. Move indoors immediately. That's to the southwest of Port Gibson. But yeah. The storms down in Mississippi and Louisiana are not associated with our cluster up here in the Midwest. Those are just your typical summertime pop-up storms. We are getting severe warnings left, right, and center as a new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for northern Union County, southwestern Williamson County, and southeastern Jackson County in southern Illinois. So Pomona, Alto Pass, and Makanda, look out for that. Make sure you're moving indoors. $50 sized hail, 60-mile-an-hour damaging wind gusts. This does include a small section of Interstate 57 as well, so if you're traveling along this region, make sure to look out for this. In the Lick Creek area, the Hall, kind of a rural portion of Interstate 57 there in southwestern Illinois. It really does, Matt. And again, they're not even saying that it'll go to a Cat 3 at this point. They're saying Cat 2 will be the peak intensity. And actually, they're saying that the peak intensity will be relatively soon here. They are saying that it will be 1 mile per hour wind, sustained wind speeds below what is considered a Category 3 hurricane. Previously, it had it going to a Category 3. Now it's going to be just barely below, but it's going to look and feel like a Category 3 for everybody that gets impacted by it at that point, which luckily is nobody since it's out in the middle of the ocean. But new severe thunderstorm warning just issued for a massive chunk of southeastern Idaho here. I'm not reading all those counties, but this does include Pocatello, almost back all the way to Idaho Falls. Jeez, this thing is huge. So McCammon, American Falls, Pocatello, Blackfoot, Aberdeen, make sure you're getting indoors immediately, just for the threat of some 60-mile-an-hour winds and maybe some penny-sized hail, but I honestly would rule that out even. I don't think there's going to be much of a hail threat with that storm, or really any of the storms that get going today in Idaho. And that goes the same for Montana. Alright, so severe thunderstorm warning now expired. So let's switch back here. I still have this on breaking news, Tropical Storm Ernesto, so let me edit that really quickly here. Sorry, I'm kind of doing this on the fly here, but as you know, we're not very professional on this channel. I'm literally making this up as I go, but I think that's pretty good. Alrighty. So there we go. We are up to 9 severe thunderstorm warnings now. One more and we're in the double digits, which is quite crazy. So anyway. Let's see here. So our storm in southern Illinois, again, no longer tornado warning, but it still does have a severe thunderstorm warning associated with it. So we still want you to get inside, but you don't necessarily have to seek shelter if you don't want to. I do think that this storm will produce some wind damage and maybe crack a windshield or two with that hail threat, but really, even at this point, the hail threat's not great, or anything significant, I should say. So we'll see what that storm does there. We'll continue to watch it. Let me update the stream title here really quickly. Alright, so new severe thunderstorm warning now issued, and like I said, that puts us in the double digits. So that severe thunderstorm warning now going out for DeKalb County in northwestern Missouri. That includes Clarksdale, Amity, Maysville, and Weatherby. So $half size hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds could be associated with that storm there. So if you're in that region, make sure that you are moving indoors and away from windows immediately. Let's go ahead and fix this. And there we go. So, let's keep watch of that storm there. But again, southern Illinois is really the main spot that we have to watch at this moment. Again, if you're new to the stream, make sure to like and subscribe, as we're going to be live here for quite a while this evening, I think. It's going to be multiple streams. This stream isn't going to be the only one, so just keep that in mind. Again, it's not going to be the only stream tonight. We're going to be live later this evening, I think. But this is going to be probably one of the more active streams if we do have multiple today. And again, we will have multiple, but I'm saying if we have like 3 or 4. Which is a possibility. If you don't know, I do kind of shorter updates whenever we have significant weather going on rather than being live throughout the entire event. The reason I do this is because I do like to have a life outside of weather. Maybe if I was doing this for a job, I could sit here for, 12 hours straight and do this, but considering it's just kind of a hobby, I love doing it, but I can't do it for 24/7, so I like to be here during the most active moments, but unfortunately I cannot be here during the entire event, and again, I would love to, and it's not like I don't have it in me, it's just, I can't. I physically can't. If you'll notice, my longer streams that I have are always either on the weekend or during the summer, because that's whenever I have much less to worry about. But during the school year, especially on a weekday, obviously, the streams are going to be a bit shorter, so I try to be live for just the most intense points. How did this morning's storms go? If you're talking about in my area, they were quite intense, actually. But if you're just talking about in general, it wasn't anything crazy. But, again, Localized spots definitely saw some damaging winds and large hail. But if we go and play the 250 frames, obviously I'm not going to show you my exact pinpoint location, but I'll just tell you it's this area here. So watch this. So look at these storms. They move into this circle. They don't do much, but this next round really gets going, and I heard some rumbles of thunder during the school day, which definitely distracted me a little bit, but it wasn't anything insane. But it was pretty interesting. Yeah, exactly, Kevin. So, anyway. It did not get upgraded, Kevin. However, we did just have a tornado warning just moments ago with this supercell here in southern Illinois. It actually developed some pretty impressive rotation. I really thought it could have produced a tornado, but it's not looking like it anymore. But, I mean, this is a pretty favorable environment, to be completely fair. We've got 4,000 joules per kilogram of CAPE almost still. We've got decent wind shear and everything. So, interesting storm. Again, this was the point where I got tornado warning. This was the point where it looked like a classic supercell, right? If the hook was a bit more prominent and the rear flank downdraft kind of stuck out more, that would have been exactly like a classic supercell there. And if the hail was maybe a bit bigger of a threat towards the center of the storm, but that's not necessarily associated with every big-time supercell that's ever produced a tornado. So anyway, again, still a little bit of rotation, but nothing crazy. Kind of surprised they didn't at least throw the tornado possible tag on that storm, considering it was previously tornado warned. But anyway.
I have screwed up. This is going to be ready to eat right when Dad gets home and wants to live. No, today's Thursday. You're not living.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. We are back now. Yeah, it definitely was, Kevin. Northeast Kansas got a beating last night from that supercell. Again, it produced at least one tornado, but again, possibly other brief, strong tornadoes as well. Just not confirmed, to my knowledge. New severe thunderstorm warning in Montana for the threat of 60-mile-an-hour damaging wind gusts towards Darby. And another severe thunderstorm warning actually just issued as well. That's going out for... Where's that going out for? It's doing the disappearing trick. Give it just a second. By the way, apparently we have a storm in Texas warned for 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts in the Panhandle, which is quite intense. So if you're in this area, make sure you're moving indoors immediately. If you're along Highway 70, Highway 256, near Antelope Flats, and South Bryce. However, this is a pretty unpopulated region. Okay, so that new severe thunderstorm warning going out for portions of Oklahoma along Interstate 40 near Hydro. Quarter-sized tail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. Make sure to move indoors immediately. But yeah, still mainly just watching southwestern Illinois here in these supercells. So, new information from the SPC. Don't know how much longer we're going to be live for here, guys, since nothing's really happening. But anyway. Again, mainly watching Carbondale, this region here. Again, people that live in southwestern Illinois will know what I'm talking about. This is right past the Mississippi River there along the state line. And again, any one of these storms really could start to rotate a little bit, so we have to watch this cluster pretty closely. As you saw, that, I mean, that's the only tornado warning we've had so far today. It came from that cluster of storms. So if you're saying, you know, well, why am I not focusing on the storm in northwestern Missouri, or why am I not focusing on the storm in Texas? Well, for one thing, this cluster of storms here is in a pretty populated area, and again, also, in my opinion, these storms have the best potential to rotate. Now, again, these storms are not rotating right now, but it could start at any minute. It really could. So we got to watch them pretty closely here. Mainly 4 supercells that we're watching at this point. Or not necessarily supercells, but 4 big storms. One right along the Mississippi River right now, one near Pomona, the one that was previously tornado warned, the one near Pinckneyville, and then the one near Steelville. And yes, these are 2 separate storms. They may be merging, though, it looks like. In fact, they're definitely merging, so. Anyway. keep things going here. So again, in general, these storms are kind of moving off to the east-southeast. The ones further to the north are almost due east, though, I'd say. The environment is not close to being fit for violent tornadoes. Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. I don't know why the violent tornado parameter is at 3. The significant tornado parameter is not even at 3. That's, I think that's a glitch. I'm hoping that's a glitch. I really don't think we're going to see violent tornadoes today, but sometimes it surprises us. I'll say that much. Speaking of the significant tornado parameter, while it doesn't get extremely high in any specific spots, we do kind of have a widespread area here of, the brief potential for maybe a weak tornado, right? And that's kind of going to be the same thing throughout the entire night here. And we're going to see splotches like this you see in southeastern Missouri get up to, 2 or 3 at times, but still, there's not going to be one spot that gets hit extremely hard, and we're not saying this is exactly where this splotch of significant tornado potential is going to develop. That is just a guess. The violent tornado parameter is on the SBC meso-analysis currently. That is crazy that it's actually at a, what was it, a 3? That's insane. So again, up to 12 severe warnings now, 1 in New Hampshire and 1 in Oklahoma, brand new. That's the second Simon appearance this stream. Thank you guys for all the support on this stream. I mean, we have had quite a good viewership, and then also we're at 11 likes, which for a 30-minute period of the stream here is not bad. So again, I do appreciate all that. We did dip below 1.4 thousand subscribers, which is quite disappointing. If you're not aware, we did briefly hit it, but we lost several subscribers. And I don't know why. I don't know if those are YouTube deleting accounts because they're not active anymore, but yeah. So, this severe warning, I love whenever it has this weird tag where it says less than 1 inch hail, because normally it'll say like 0.75 or less than 0.75. It usually does not say that, but it does this time around. That is so cool. I don't know why I love that so much, but I do. New severe thunderstorm warning in northwestern Missouri, by the way. That's a severe warning going out for northwestern Davies, southern Gentry, and southwestern Harrison counties. For McFall and Bethany, areas along Interstate 35, make sure you're getting indoors immediately there. That is for quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So anyway, how's everybody's day been? The Missouri cell is broadly rotating, but this radar hold to KEAX being down makes it hard to know. Well, this area is never great for radar coverage anyway, but yeah, this is definitely quite the challenge to see, having to look at this from the Des Moines radar. But this is infamously a terrible radar hole all the time, even whenever that radar is working. This spot here, extreme northern Missouri, extreme southern Iowa, I feel so bad for you guys. You get no radar coverage, and you are in one of the most active severe weather areas in America. By the way, Supercell trying to develop near Newton, Iowa. I'd watch that. That is explosively developing there. And again, that looks to be trying to rotate even a little bit as well southwest of Murphy. Not doing great, though. So maybe just like a damaging wind threat, but we may honestly see a severe thunderstorm warning or a special weather statement at least come out for that soon. Probably a severe warning, though, if we're being realistic. So, let's see here. Just trying to see if we do get any new information here. Don't have any as of right now, though. So again, if you're just now tuning in, we're watching a couple of supercells firing off in southwestern Illinois. You're too lazy to check the models, so you're officially a nowcaster. All right. Well, that's something. That new severe warning is doing the disappearing trick, which is always fun. It's going to disappear, and in a second here, it'll reappear. By the way, our Idaho storm producing a 66 mile per hour wind gust. Now, granted, that is in the tippity tops here, the mountain tops. I guess not in the tippity tops, but we're pretty high up here. So the winds closer, if you're not in the mountains, are probably a little bit lower, but in Pocatello, they are quite intense. I'll say that much. So where is that new severe thunderstorm warning? Yeah, that 430 SRH really had me scared last night. Like, that is the amount that we see on, like, high-risk days. Moderate risk days. New severe thunderstorm warning now for El Reno, for this storm that's been near El Reno for a while. Union City as well, make sure moving indoors. Still just warned for typical quarter-size tail 60 mile-an-hour winds. It looks to me like it's getting quite a significant amount stronger, though, than whenever the warning was first issued. It's at least getting bigger, that's for sure, and that's why we see a much bigger polygon here than our previous one. Sorry if I'm talking really fast. I do that sometimes. Sometimes I don't notice, but I think this time I caught myself. Because my brain, I am like, I haven't been diagnosed with ADHD, but, you know. Today's risk in the Midwest reminds me of March 31st in its shape. Oh, gosh. Definitely not in intensity. Let's make that clear. But, yeah, the shape, somewhat. Although March 31st did go quite a significant bit further south. New severe thunderstorm warning once again in Oklahoma, southwestern Garfield, and east central major counties. In northern and northwestern Oklahoma there. Does not include Enid, but Drummond, you are right smack dab in the middle of that warning there, so if you're in Drummond, make sure you move indoors, and if you're in Enid, just prepare. This storm is popping off extremely quickly, by the way. Okay. Finally got a new scan. I don't know why KPAW is loading so slow on its new scans, but we got it. 2 minutes, 2 minutes after whenever this actual scan was taken. How fun. Nothing crazy, though. I'll say that much. Whoops. Hit the thing with my elbow. Okay, so they did actually just issue that new severe thunderstorm watch, and it's a really weird shape. So I'm going to bring this up on your screen. This is brand spanking new. We are talking about a couple of tornadoes being possible, isolated hail up to ping pong ball size possible, and scattered gusts up to 70 miles an hour possible. Really small, weird watch shape there, but that does go out for a good section of northwestern Kentucky, southwestern Indiana, southern Illinois, and southeastern Missouri. Almost 1 million people in that new severe thunderstorm watch there, so that's going to be in effect until midnight. So if you're in that area, look out for some severe storms over the next several hours. So anyway. There we go. I'm glad I looked at X for the brief second that I did. So we'll wait for that here to pop up on Radar Omega. This is in Bell City, Missouri. It is 100 degrees. That is a glitch. It is not 100 degrees out there. I can almost guarantee you that much. There's no way it is 100 degrees. I mean, it's not that far off, but it's definitely not 100. We're kind of in the low to mid 90s. I don't know why it says wind chill instead of heat index. It's so stupid. The feels like is probably 100. I'd bet money on that, but well, I wouldn't bet money on it, but it's definitely possible. But the actual temperature is definitely not 100 degrees. So there's that new severe thunderstorm watch. Not a super populated area. I've been out in this region many times, and I'll tell you, this is the most rural area in the Midwest. If you consider this the Midwest, I mean, it is just trees and corn. It really is. It's crazy. And you see all these little names on the map, and you're thinking, well, Davis, there are so many towns out here. This is the average Western Kentucky town. Maybe 25 homes. That's it. Not even a post office in most of these, so they're not really towns. But if you are traveling through this area in particular, I'm getting very specific here, but this area, oh my goodness, it's crazy. It's beautiful, but it's so empty. I don't remember there being this many homes in this region, but apparently there are. But the cell service, oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. Evansville is included in that severe thunderstorm watch. That's probably the biggest city in here, in my opinion. I guess it's not really an opinion-based statement, but I think that's the biggest city in there. That's my, guess. Not guess, educated guess. I'm ranting again. New severe thunderstorm warning for this storm now just crossing the Mississippi Valley, or the Mississippi River, rather. Central Jackson County, Eastern Perry County, you're under another severe thunderstorm warning. I know you just had one if you're in Grand Tower, Pomona, but you're not done. Weekend going to be clear in the Davenport area, going there for a quick trip on Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about anything. I think it's going to be actually pretty beautiful in that region. So this is Saturday. We can't see the Sunday outlook, but I guarantee you, you are not going to see any sort of big-time thunderstorms in the Davenport area this weekend. We are up to 15 severe thunderstorm warnings now. Not sure how that happened, but there we go. I'm going to be completely honest with you. If you're in between Interstate 70 and Interstate 44 in Missouri, there's a good chance you don't get a drop of rain. I know you're in that slight risk of severe weather, but a lot of our storms are going to be to the south of you and to the north of you. Now, this storm north of Springfield is getting going quite quickly, it looks like. That is a 4-minute difference. That's what it became. That's crazy.
It's time for supper.
Okay.
How much minutes do you want?
Get out. I told you can't be in here while I'm live. Sorry. Third appearance. Anyway. we're gonna end off things here. So, thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you all in a couple of hours. We have some more tornado warnings tonight, probably, but yeah. Until next time.